Hi guys, Squad here. Welcome to another Fernbus video. I'm glad you enjoyed the last Fernbus videos, and there's a lot of comments saying, oh yeah, definitely do more Fernbus. So I thought we'd give it another whirl. I know some of you want me to do some OMSI as well, so I'll perhaps look at reinvigorating my OMSI installation. I'm not quite sure what state it's in, but I think we might pick up on a bit of OMSI. But certainly there seems to be a demand for some bus sims. Probably not given it as much love as I should have done recently. So here we go. We're going to drive the Comfort Class S516. This is a /2, which means it has one rear axle. There is another one which has a double rear axle. And today we are going to be driving from, where did I go from to, let me a sec, go back 1 second. Graz, there we go. I've got to go from Graz down to Vienna. Here we go. So we're in Austria today. And it's going to be a very interesting drive because if you actually look at this map here, we could, in theory, take that route, but I'm not sure. I presume that means it's blocked. I'm not really sure if we can go that way. Problem is I can't tell the sat-nav to go a different way, so I'm not really sure if I should even attempt that journey. I'm going to take it that that's a closed road. I think when I drove past it, it was blocked off, so I think we'll assume that's a closed road for now, and we'll just go the way the sat-nav takes us. So I've picked the Comfort Class S516 and I've put on a Italian skin this time, and just to be different, I know it's the middle of June right now and it's quite sunny outside, but I've gone for February and I've set the weather to be snow. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do, because we're kind of where we are. I think it'd be kind of cool if it was a little bit cold and snowy. So that's the deal today. Let's get started. And the shutter raises on the garage. Looks like we're spawning into the garage. Wow, that sky. Look at that. It looks cold, doesn't it, eh? Cold but dry and clear. For some reason, it doesn't let you operate the garage door. Right, let's see. Actually, we can turn those tutorials off, can't we? Let's go to settings, and then game, and we'll just turn that off. Did that actually do it? Let's click accept. There we go. So this is our bus. Looks like we've got a couple of luggage doors there, rear door, front door. Let's go and get it all set up. Okay, let's close that door. Right, so destination display is done. Ignition is on. Start the bus up. We shall put the conditioning on. Okay, parking brake is set. Let's go down here and set up the bus. We can adjust the little fan thing. That's so cool, isn't it? Don't think we need to do anything up here on the radio and stuff. Looks like it doesn't have a climate control icon. It looks like it's got a, what do you call it, like a rotary dial type thing. Let me just get rid of this nav bar a second so we can actually see what's going on down here. Right, let's go top to bottom. So reading light clearance, enable all reading lights is on. Does that actually enable or turn them on? That's an interesting question. If I put reading light clearance, dimmed passenger light and normal light. We'll put the normal lights on for now. We'll put all the clearance on. Driver's lights on, we don't need that. Night lights on, we don't need that. 230 volt clearance, kitchen clearance is on. Hostess clearance on and off. We haven't got a hostess, have we? Toilet clearance. Reverse camera washing, we don't need to worry about that. Destination display was on already. Driver monitor on and off, that's that one. Passenger monitor on and off, that is cool. I like that. Play stop announcement, Wi-Fi clearance is coming on. Hill holder. Don't think we're going to need that, but we could have that. So that means if we stop on a hill, let go of the brake, it'll just sit there, which is very useful. Stop brake, we've got lift center, lift down, lift up, lift down. Let's lower the bus down a little bit. I did have some interesting feedback on my last Fernbus video from a guy who actually drives these buses for real, talking about the steering delay and the tilting and stuff. And he basically said that you've got to ride, you need to lower, and it makes sense when he said it, you've got to lower the bus down, particularly when you're driving on the highway, because you don't want it rolling around, and obviously the highways are quite firm and smooth, so you want it, the only time you raise it up is when you go in, a bit of off-road, a bit of rough road, that kind of thing. So makes a lot of sense. I drove it with the suspension too high, which meant it was too wallowy and bouncy, and I should have lowered it. So that makes a lot of sense, and thank you for that. The aircon, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. Now temperature, we'll just kind of put it up to, normally I would go here, but knowing the passengers here, they'll probably want it around about there. We can put it on both. Do we control that? I presume that's just on, I'm not 100% certain on that. Open close front door, open close rear door, there's no lock on that by the look of it. Emergency valve reset. No idea. Warning lights. Cool. Lock, unlock left luggage. Doesn't appear to be clicked down and the light's not changing, so I'm not really sure what that's doing. Doesn't appear to be locking or unlocking. Is that bugged or am I just doing something wrong? This doesn't click down here. Front roof hatch air. Oh, that is not... Oh, look at that! Nice. Not that we need it today, but in summer and stuff, that is really cool. I like that. Okay, let's go to the other side. Disable warning lane assist, disable ESP ASR, we don't need to disable that stuff. Steering column adjustment. I can't see my steering column from this angle, so don't really know. Let's put the fan on there like that. Let's pop back to here. Now, in terms of, let's put the nav back on. In terms of seating position, field of view. We'll have it slightly wide, but I don't like it being too wide. So maybe about there-ish. That appears to be about center, doesn't it? And then this one doesn't really affect us because we've got track IR, so we'll just leave it there like that. I can always reset my track IR anytime I want to change that one. There we go. I think we're good to go. It's time to drive over to wherever we're picking up passengers from. So we will park and brake, put it into gear. I can see the dash there that says 1. And why are we not driving? Maybe I've got it too low or something. No, it's still not driving. Why are you not driving? Let's put the bus all the way back. I'm thinking it's got something to do with that, but I don't know. The doors aren't closed, are they? Open? Nope, nothing's open on that side. Nothing's open on that side. Oh, there we go. So it is something to do with the ride height. But yet now it's moving, so I don't get it. Okay. Confused.com. No idea. Let's just drive. Have you got a rollerblind in this? I have. I need to remember what key I mapped to my rollerblind. We'll see if we need it. Let's put some lights on as well, that'd be a good idea. Press the L key for that. Let's see how wallowy it is. Wow, there's a delay. You put your foot down and it thinks about going. Okay, that seems to be a reasonably firm kind of ride. Because the only problem with driving in snow and stuff is the frame rate is not fantastic. It definitely seems to struggle a little bit when you start driving in these conditions. It's like a very quiet morning in Graz, 7:30. I bet it's not this quiet in real life. Yeah, it's not keeping a 60 FPS up at all. It's definitely struggling. Are we taking a left here, or... Looks like we go... So I've got my foot down now, and it takes forever to get moving. Strangest bus. Like, the Skyliner just goes. This thing just goes, whoa, you want to go? Are you sure? Let me have a think about that. Okay, we're going left under here. Like now, it's just that can really catch you out, blimey. Imagine being at a roundabout and you want to pull out on some traffic and get going, and then the bus just goes, it has other ideas. Right, where are we parking up here? Looks like we're going down the middle bit. Now this was OMSI, they'd all be running towards the curb, shuffling and stuff. Because that's what they do in OMSI. Alright, so parking brake, neutral. Let's open both doors. I'm hoping the luggage is not locked. Let's try that. Okay, it looks like it's locked. Click, click. There we go. So I think there's a light problem on the Switch. It's locking it, but it's not showing you that it's locked. You alright there, love? You kind of look like you've lost something under your armpit. Right, let's log this in. Wow, she's a bit of a weird shape. 7:39, leaving at 7:47. So Graz to Vienna. So anybody else? Are we going anywhere else? Well, you alright? Are you sure? Do you want to get on the bus first? Because you look like you need... Yeah, we can go to Vienna. No problem. I think maybe she's cold. There you go. Off you go. Have a nice journey and all that. Graz to Vienna. Anouk. Definitely good. Yep. Okay, Graz to Vienna. What's your name? Jason. Jason Jensen. Ciao.
Hello, here's my ticket.
What's your name? Your name is Meta Weiss.
Vielen Dank.
Vielen Dank.
Ich hoffe, ich bin hier richtig.
At a door.
Auf geht's.
Ciao, das Ticket. Bitteschön.
Graz to Vienna. I'll scan that. No problem. Right, let's come back here to the man that likes to stand in a very strange way.
Mahlzeit, hier ist mein Ticket. Danke.
Scan that. You're good.
Fahren Sie in meine Richtung?
Fatma Schluter.
Sehr freundlich. Hallo, ich benötige noch ein Ticket.
Where do you want to go? I like it when you have to do manual tickets.
Danke.
You're welcome.
Servus, das Ticket. Bitte sehr freundlich.
You're
Mahlzeit,
welcome.
Hier ist Dankeschön.
You're welcome.
Hallo, hier mein Ticket.
Rebecca Paulson. Yep, you're on the list.
Vielen Dank.
Tag, Sie wollen bestimmt mein Ticket sehen.
Nobody's got it wrong yet. This is weird. Yenka Bartels. Oh, Yenka, I'm not seeing you on the list. Oh, wait. You're at the bottoms. Sorry about that.
Hallo, fahren Sie in meine Richtung? Cool.
Grüezi, bitte sehr. Vielen Dank.
I think that's everybody. Let's just double check the rotor. Nobody tried to sneak on. To-do list is empty. Let's close the luggage up. Let's get the temperature going. Close the luggage, get on, shut the doors. And we shall skip forward. Because we're almost ready to leave. Like that. And we shall play the announcement.
Und herzlich willkommen bei Flixbus. Wir freuen
It's far too long, that announcement. Far too long. It does it all in German, then it does it all in English. I'm just wondering if we're going to need the sun visor thing or not. Let me figure out the controls here. Okay, I mapped it to home and end. So that's the end key. And the home key raises it up like that. And then I think they did insert and delete for the other one. I can hear it, I can't see it. I'm not really sure where that one is. There's supposed to be a left and a... Oh, there it is. I was like, where is it? Home and end, and then F5 and 6. Opens our window. You know, if you want a bit of fresh air. I might open it just a touch. Although I'll probably get complaints from passengers. But just to get a little bit of fresh air, you know? Anyway, it's time to go. So we've played the announcement. Lights are on. Parking brake is off. Set the gear. Bus is nice and low. Yeah, the other thing he said about the guy who commented was that you would raise it sometimes for like platform reasons, like if they're boarding onto a ferry or something. Like I say, it all makes sense. Oh, curbs. Try to avoid that. Right, 50k limit. I would love to go the alternative road, but I don't think we can. I think the road's closed. I'm not really sure what the point of that is, to be honest. Like, if it was a dynamic event on the map, where that south road was closed for just this journey, I could kind of get that. And then in the next journey, maybe it just randomly opened it up again. But at the moment, it feels like either I've got it wrong and you can drive down there, or they just developed a part of the map that you can't use. But I don't really want to risk driving there, down there finding out. Passengers are quiet today. Nobody's complained yet. I think I mentioned in the last video about Fernbus that the developer TML Studios are working on another sim. Or maybe I didn't mention it, I can't remember. They're working on another sim called The Bus. Crikey. Force feedback kicked in then. Working on another sim called The Bus, and I have written to them about that. Because I'd kind of like to know where they're at with The Bus. With a view to getting some footage of it. Or at least an update. Okay, we're going this way. Because graphically, the bus looks pretty good. And I think it's supposed to have a multiplayer. So that and the Bus Sim 18 are the only bus simulators that I know are being worked on right now. I don't know what SCS is doing about their bus sim. They've got the map for it. There's no doubt about that. They could drop a bus simulator into the existing Eurotruck map and it all would be good. Maybe just add some more bus stops, but they've got the infrastructure. Kind of makes you wonder why they don't get on with it. Okay, what's the limit? 80. Let's see if we can move over. These roads look very slippy. I don't know if that's modelled in the game or not. I don't know if there's let's get cruise control, which is that button, no, that button, no, that button. There we go, got it in the end. Yeah, I don't know if the roads are slippy, I didn't notice anything. I like the snow effect, looks fantastic. And I love the way the tunnels light up as we get closer. That personal touch. Actually, it would make a ton of sense if lights worked like that on a sensor operation. Could probably save a lot of power. Notice they got these gigantic fans to blow the air down the length of the tunnel, otherwise you get fumes just building up, and then if somebody broke down in here, they'd get out of their car and then they'd have to breathe a lot of fumes. That's why they have those fans. And also if there's like a fire in here, which is in a tunnel, that is the disaster scenario. There's a collision in a tunnel and then something catches fire. That is a horrible scenario because all the fumes that come off that are then trapped in the tunnel and start to move along it. And, you know, that can very quickly get out of hand and suffocate people and kill them without the fire even killing them. So that's a dangerous scenario, that is. Okay, we are going right. Love the mountains, eh? Fantastic. It must be really nice to live near mountains. I remember when I drove up, I rode my motorbike all around the coast of Britain once. About 10 years ago, just a bit over 10 years ago. I had a BMW R1200 GS. And I started in Greenwich and I went clockwise with about 25 other people. We all went clockwise around the coast and we stuck very solidly to the coast where possible. Once you get up to the northwest of Scotland, that's where it becomes a bit problematic, because if you look at the northwest of the UK, up in Scotland, you'll see it looks like shattered glass, like the islands are just very, very spaced out with lots of water and there's limited kind of roads. And it's very difficult to drive around the coast because there's no real defined coast up there for a kickoff. So a couple of times we had to take like a mini ferry crossing just to get over these parts of the water. But when you're up there, you do get mountains like this. And I never forget driving along down this... Whoa, what the heck? Speaking of collisions in the tunnel. Whoa, that guy's getting stuck. Dude, that wasn't my fault. Crikey. Some weirdness going on there. I'll never forget driving down this straight tarmac road, and to my left and to my right were just these enormous mountains. And you was on a motorbike. You know, it's not like being in a car. It's completely different to a car's experience. You're on this motorbike and it just feels... It's kind of... It's one of those things that just makes you stop and you're kind of speechless in a way. You just take it all in. You just look to your left, look to your right, and you just think to yourself, I cannot believe I'm doing this. I feel so very small between these two giants either side of me. But it is a bit like that. There's something about these big mountains, and when you drive down them, it just makes you feel very small and insignificant, and it kind of is a bit humbling in a way. But I remember that road very well because I remember it was black tarmac, and it was like a new, like it'd been resurfaced, and there was hardly any traffic up there. I mean, you know, you see a car every, like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes maybe. Just nothing on the roads, and it's just you and nature and a motorbike, and let me tell you, it's a great feeling. I would love to go and do that again. I don't have a motorbike now. I kind of sold it a few years ago because it was just, I had no use for it. I used to commute into London every day, and I stopped doing that and got the train. And then shortly after that I was like, well, I'm not using it for commuting. I'm not, you know, I don't know that many motorcyclists around me. Don't want to go riding on my own all the time. I'm sadly have to sell this thing. But that was a machine. That was that BMW R1200 GS. That's a machine. It's a beautiful bike. Heated grips, shaft drive, just amazing amounts of torque. You can just go anywhere on that. Wow, they keep dropping these speed limits, don't they? Well, yeah, you can't beat driving around mountain scenery. I would love to go to Norway at some point. They have wonderful scenery like this as well. Let's get in that lane. Ah, looks like everybody's speeding up on me now. Genius. I think there's a car down the side of me, but I can't see him. Unless he's turned off. He must have dropped back. Okay, back up to 80. So I've had one incident so far, and that was the little light accident. I think the truck looked like it was clipping on the tunnel, like the decorations on the top of the tunnel. And then he couldn't proceed. But I'm not really sure what I hit. Presume maybe I scraped the side of the truck, I don't know. Let's have a look on the outside. Lovely jubbly. Do you know, being a driver of a bus or a truck with scenery like this wouldn't be so bad, eh? It's not so much about being a driver, it's the journeys you take, isn't it? That's the thing. It's the scenery you get to drive through. Although I don't know, maybe there's a lot of professional drivers out there that just pay no attention to the scenery. Myself, that would be my entertainment. Apart from listening to the radio, I would be looking outside at all the different things going on. If I was a driver, I don't think I'd want to be doing the same route like every single day, day in, day out. I wouldn't mind doing it for a while, but then I'd want to change the route, you know? These long-distance drivers, these international long-distance truckers, they must see so much stuff. But then the downside is they've got to sleep away from family for days on end in the back of the cab, which, I don't know, maybe they're like that, but it must get a bit lonely at some point. And then the opposite end of the scale, you've got the truckers who go multi-dropping. Or the bus drivers, it's the same with your bus drivers, isn't it? Generally speaking, you live in a particular town or a city and you'll be doing the same route every day. And maybe at some point, they'll swap your route over. But apart from that, it must get a bit kind of repetitive, doing the same circuit. Do I need to get in this left lane, or am I okay in this lane? The arrow said I can go straight on or left, but I'm not convinced. It's forcing me over. Wow. Yeah, you see, look, that's the closed road. You see how it's stopping me from going that way? So I don't understand that. And I think you'll find there's another one on the other side there for that over the ramp exit. It won't let you go that way. So I don't... Like, was that something they just planned on releasing and never got round to? Does anybody know the history of that road? Like, why is it blocked off? Because this DLC's not been out that long, so why is that blocked off? Yeah, there you go. That's blocked as well, so you can't go at it this way. It's a shame, really. There are some routes on this particular map, on this DLC, that are very twisty. There's some really nice ones, I mean seriously twisty. Like hairpins and stuff. Let's move over. Yeah, I think we've got a good pace here. We're not in a particular rush. I think we're going to be there early, if anything. Crikey, that guy's close. I do notice when I drive in Eurotruck through the different countries of the world, the different styles of pylon, these electricity pylons they have. There are many different styles across Europe, and it's interesting to me when I see them. They all fundamentally do the same thing, and they're nearly always 6 lines, 3 on each side, 3 power lines on each side. Almost always like that. Sometimes you'll see 4, but usually it's 6. Generally no more than that. But they're always just different in some way. I can't remember if it's... one of them has like red and white stripes on it. I can't remember if that's Poland or not. But, you know, up until... Unless you've been a traveller across Europe, you won't really have seen many different styles. But it's games like this that kind of open your eyes to the fact that things are done. The same things are done in different ways. In different countries. Like, it's... For example, the road traffic markings. You know, if you was to go to Sweden, like, where they normally have white marks on the road, like Sweden, it's yellow. I think it's Sweden that does that. I'm sure it is. It's yellow in the middle or something. And their road signs tend to use yellow a lot more as well on their letters. In the UK, for example, we have blue. If it's a blue sign, it means it's motorway. If it's a green sign, then it means it's like an A road or a B road, as we call it, which is like the levels down from a motorway. And if it's like a brown sign, it means it's historic. There's some kind of, you know, historical thing there. So it's information about a castle or a ruin or something like that. And they're like some of the standards that we have. But when you go to different countries, they do different things. And you kind of, well, if you play Eurotruck and you're driving from country to country, you'll see that. And even like traffic light design, same thing. They'll place them in different positions. They'll have slightly different shapes and colour, like not the colour of the red, green and blue, the red, yellow, green, but the actual placements of the lights and the shape of them and how high they'll be and how many they have of them. And the position they put them in the road, they all vary from country to country. All doing the same thing, but all in a different way. Right, Vienna is here. It's just over there, in fact. Not been to Vienna. I should actually go there. Take a flight over there at some point. Maybe go for a weekend. Ever since I did that one-day trip to Geneva on my birthday a couple of years ago, it kind of opened my eyes to the fact that I can just fly to a city, you know, get an early morning flight and just fly out there. Stay there for a day and then come back, and it lets you just see some stuff. You'd be amazed at what you can do in one day if you try. Honestly, I went up a cable car and I did all kinds of crazy stuff. All in a single day. I was shattered at the end of it, but yeah, I was home for midnight. Well, it makes you think to yourself, you know, if I can do that much in one day. Some days I feel like I've not done anything, but... all made possible in Europe thanks to low-cost airlines. I reckon we'll be at this stop for a little while. This time of the day looks quite nice, doesn't it? It's like, it's not fully sunshine. The sun is behind quite a bit of cloud, I think. But the snow kind of reflects a lot of the light, so there's a lot of... When there's snow on the ground, there's a lot of ambient light, even when there's not a lot of direct sunlight. But then it's not that light, so all the colours, like this green, just pops. Okay, we need to watch for some speed limit changes here, because it's bound to reduce the speed limit down here. There you go. It suddenly went from 100 to 50, and I didn't even see a sign for it. I think this bus has got, like an automatic retarder or something. Like when you take your foot off the accelerator, it seems to engage the retarder. Some buses do that, and I think this one's doing it. When I went down that hill then, I backed off on the throttle and I didn't actually pick up any speed. I thought that hill parking thing, hill start thing, option that I turned on was only for when you're on a hill, then it would just hold your position, but it feels like it's got... Why are they going through on red? Oh, they're not. It feels like, yeah, it slows down when you take your foot off the accelerator for sure. Where are the leaves coming from? Or is that soot? Maybe somebody's having a barbecue and it's blowing like soot and stuff. But seriously, where are those leaves coming from? Or is that meant to be snow? It looks black. Black snow? What is going on? Doomsday scenario? That can't be right. I'm looking for my left turn. I think it's just after the bridge somewhere. It's a funny little routing that we're taking. I think we're going here. Okay, I see. So we're going all the way down here, looping all the way back up, and that's our parking spot. This is a big bus station. You're speeding? It says 30? What the heck? Thing is, I saw a sign when we came in that said 10 on it. But then I looked at my sat-nav and it carried on saying 30, so I thought, okay, well, we'll just kind of do 20. And then my passengers booked me for speeding. Well, we're going to get a couple of write-ups. We had a light accident and a couple of speeding tickets, I think. Lots of cranes over there. Lovely. Before schedule, I can't believe it. I guess they're happy with that. Right, let's lower the bus down. Let's open the doors. Nobody complained about the temperature, so I must have got it approximately correct. Let's open that. Well, at least they got out the correct side this time. Hope you enjoyed your journey, guys. Do you know what I didn't do? I didn't actually click start journey. I didn't click start journey, did I? I remember now. But, you know, that's the end of that one. Hope you enjoyed that Fernbus video. Let me know if there's any particular bus or route you want me to do. Or indeed if there's anything in, say, OMSI that you want me to do, in a particular bus journey or bus that you want me to try. Or you think I should, that I've not shown before. Other than that, on to the next video. Take care, guys, and happy busing.